new here, definitely subscribe. Hit that bell button so you can get notifications each and every time I upload a new video. Thank bejesus, it's Friday, okay? Listen, if you have been paying attention to celebrity news, I want to catch you up on what you have missed, okay? And there is a lot, okay, honey? There's a lot that you've missed. If you have not been paying attention, the time is to pay attention right now, right here on Aqua News Now. Okay, this is an Aqua News Now broadcast. Okay, and trust me, I'm going to ensure that quality is going to begin better. I'm actually today and this weekend. It is. I am tasking myself to set myself a very extremely strict schedule, to which I must uphold because I am transitioning from one endeavor and adding on something that I want to start working on. So you guys are going to actually start seeing me adhering to a more strict schedule in the coming weeks. If you've been paying attention to celebrity news, then I need to catch you up. I need to catch you up because I don't know if you heard, but it's getting live out in these streets. Okay. Um, First and foremost, I just want to send a very, very special shout out to Mayor Robinson. Mayor Mondale Robinson of Enfield, North Carolina, I believe. He has been making some major stances, taking some major stances in the media to be 10 toes down with what he believes in. And this is what we need. Okay. Furthermore, I must address, and I think that you guys, if you want to come live, I think you can. Let me see. There's no way I can chat on here though, but I can add people, I think. Send. Okay, yes. So I can, if you want to come into this video today, and you have some thoughts about anything that we're talking about, you can actually join this live today. And so I'm super excited to see and hear any of you guys that are interested in coming live and discussing anything about what we talk about in this video today. I'm super excited. So please let me know in the comments if you are interested in coming live to discuss what we end up getting to. But like I was saying, I want to send a special shout out to Mayor Mondale Robinson for just being 10 toes down on what you believe in, right? Like, you don't understand how powerful and how important that is. And he's not getting enough attention. Okay. So I need you guys to be sending all sorts of prayers and protective, prayers to him because he's out here and he's doing the good Lord's work. Okay. So that was my special shout out for today. Let's move forward though, because like I said, if you've been watching Remy Ma news, okay, then you have no clue that Canada has just, I don't know if this is the president of Canada, I'm assuming this is like the president of Canada or like whoever rules Canada, right? He has come out and said that if Trump thinks that he's going to raise the tariffs, he gonna cut the energy off. He gonna cut the electric bill. He gonna cut the electric off. So, wow. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me personally, I feel like what we are seeing is a royal shit show happening all out in front. Okay, this is absolute in your face arguments, fights. It's a showdown. Okay, it is an absolute showdown that is going on in front of us right now, and we are going to start seeing people backpedaling. Okay, we are going to start seeing people backpedaling because but the issue is, I feel, and so there's 2 points that I have to make about the new information that's come out from Canada, okay? Because Canada said we are not here for the fuckery, just like Mexico said we are not here for the fuckery. And I don't know who else has been threatened, but whomever has been threatened, I'm sure that they are all going to give sufficient pushback to put Trump in his place. Now, the issue with that is that oftentimes, and this is like a hopeful, I'm not a hopeful, this is like a far out issue. But the issue with that is that oftentimes when people who want to have certain types of power in one way or another are not getting the type of power that they feel they should have, sometimes they begin to take that out in very sinister ways. So I will just say that we need to just be prepared to stand 10 toes down, and we also need to be prepared to really work this energy, of this energetic shift, in order for that not to happen. Because what we are seeing is we are seeing a group of we're seeing a shift, we're seeing a change. Hold on 1 second, let me just, oops, nope, don't want to do that. uh uh okay, so what I'm trying to get to though is, ultimately what we are seeing is we are seeing major pushback from very important people. And to me, what this all looks like is it's going to be a showdown. It's absolutely going to be a showdown that the people that are saying what they're saying, oh no, you're not about to just um be able to just say what you want, do what you want. We're going to cut the energy off. Canada has come out and said, listen, it's not a matter of if it's going to happen, it's a matter of when it's going to happen. Okay. Because if Trump comes out here talking about he's raising all these tariffs and doing this and doing that with us, we're going to cut the lights out. Okay. So we're going to go on down there to Michigan. We're going to go on down there to Montana. We're going to go on down there to New York, and we're going to pull our electricity out. And so this is getting very serious now. So now what we're talking about New York, right? If New York is powered by Canada, I mean, you can imagine how many people will be without electric. Okay. It is going to be so too far massive for Trump to even do that. We also have Mexico saying that they're going to raise the tariffs if he raises the tariffs, and they're going to kick everybody that's American up out of there. So, what it really looks like is it looks like we are being isolated. And so I need you guys to be ready and prepared for this type of shift to happen. So the system to some degree is kind of imploding. It really is. The last ditch effort has always been, oh, let's go back to bigotry. Let's go back to misogyny. Let's go back to being super uber violent. Let's go back to banging everybody, trying to hit everybody upside the head. And what they will notice is that we are going into a shift that is shifting everybody collectively. And so, as everybody begins to shift collectively, this is what you are seeing. Trump has gone out and he has ran his mouth. I'm talking straight, ran his mouth, nothing but talk. Okay, all talk, right? And he may even intend to do some of the things that he can do, but he's not really doing it very well. There's not a lot of foresight with what he's saying. There's not a lot of forethought with what he's thinking about, or what he's putting forth and what he's saying out loud. It's kind of just someone who kind of, they haven't really thought it through very well. You can tell that everything that Trump is talking about are things that have not been very well thought out. It's not a well thought out plan. It wasn't a well thought out proposition. You have not taken the time to even look at your allies, to understand who your allies are, to build relationships with these people. You're just coming in and you're talking your shit and you're saying that this is what you're going to do, and they just got to deal with it, right? Because what he's coming in on is he's betting, oh, we are the American empire. This is, I can just say and do whatever the fuck I want to do because I'm the American empire. And that is how he's looking at that. Now, this is very divisive. It is also very dangerous. Canada has threatened to pull the plug on electricity for Michigan, New York, and Montana. He did not say, matter of fact, I don't even think it was a promise. I don't even think it was a threat. I think it was a promise. He has promised that if Trump gets in office acting crazy, we gonna turn the lights out. This has so, let's just look at the population first off. Let's look at the New York population. Okay, so the New York population is 8.258 million people back in 2023. Let's look at the Michigan population. Michigan population is 10.4 million back in 2003. And who knows what's happened since then. Let's look at Montana. The population of Montana back in 2003 was 1.13 million. So basically 12 million people. Sorry, no. Sorry. 20 million people, just about 20 million people are going to be, I totally underestimated that. Just about 20 million people based on 2003 numbers. Let's see if we can look at 2024. I'm sorry, 2023 numbers. If we can look at 2024 numbers, Montana is up by okay. So now it's 1.4. Let's go to New York one more time. We're talking about, oh, whoa. Whoa. The New York population has more than doubled in a year, according to the estimations. Now, I'm just looking at projections, Let's go back to Michigan real quick. Guys, this is crazy. I will tell you, the rich people who voted for Trump, they didn't care because all they got to do is grab their bags, get on their private jets, and travel somewhere else. So that's the rich population. They didn't give a damn. Okay. However, the poor and minority folks that voted for Trump are in for the rudest fucking awakening that I can even think of. In New York, Michigan, and Montana during January, it's still fucking cold. It's winter. That's blizzard season. So we're saying, okay, and I want to be clear. The Canadian president made it very clear that he does not want this to happen. But if Trump is throwing around these threats and he's intending to, proceed with his threats, then unfortunately we're going to have to do this because it's my job to protect the Canadian community. Just like Mexico said, hey, look, I got to protect my people. Okay, if you think you're going to be doing this and that and the third, we got to protect our economy down here. If you think you just going to be doing all this stuff around here, we kicking all your folks out and we'll take ours back gladly, but we kicking yours out for sure. And we're going to raise the tariffs on your ass too. I don't even know if this is unintended fallout, but this is absolutely bananas. This is not even like, I don't know that it ever was a joking matter, but this is most definitely not even any further or any longer anything to laugh about or anything to joke about. Now, what we have is Canadians are done with Trump and are not here for the bullshit. We have Mexicans. We have the Mexico that's done with the bullshit. Most likely Chinese done with the bullshit too. And then we have the people in our own country who are also just as much done with the bullshit. Listen, guys, I don't know if you know what this looks like, but this looks like a really fucking big family fight is about to come on. Okay, let's pull some cards for this energy. After we finish up with gaining a true understanding of what we are looking at here, and it is major. It is big, bro. Let me tell you something. I knew it was going to be a lot going on. I absolutely knew it. But to see these numbers, we're talking about 30, potentially 30.7 million people without electricity in the dead middle of the winter. Let's just pull it up. I mean, I literally just watched it with the president of Canada promising that if Trump's going to do all that he says he's going to do, he has to protect his own economy. And I understand it. Hey, look, I got to look out for my own house. I don't know what to tell you. We're going to need our electric and our energy. If y'all going to be boosting the prices on us, we need to make sure that we have use of all of our resources, and we won't be able to give y'all extra resources. It's understandable. So the thing about it is just that we cannot look at this as, oh, this is a Biden issue. No, this is strictly because Trump is running his mouth. Okay. And because the things that he is intending to do are inhumane. There are some things that they're talking about doing that's just downright inhumane. And the rest of the world, pretty much all of us, are just done with the bullshit. But the issue is we live here, so we're going to have to suffer the consequences for sure. Now, let's go I just want to find this. The Canadian president has come out and said what he had to say. Okay, and looked like he dropped the damn mic and went on about his business. You know what I mean? He answering questions for his people, and I don't blame him. Honestly, I don't blame him, because if this is things that I personally did not know. I did not know that there were states that were getting energy and electric from Canadians. So let's go ahead and pull him up, and let's go ahead and see what he has to say about this. Hold on. Oh, damn.
Tongue-in-cheek comment that Canada should become the 51st state if it doesn't want tariffs have some truth to it.
Well, you know, when it comes to trade,
here, let's put this on.
Modern look.
We're gonna put this one on, and I just want you guys to hear it. I'm gonna put it right here so you can actually hear what is being said.
For the second day in a row, Ontario Premier Doug Ford reiterated his threat to cut off energy supply to the U.S. in retaliation to Donald Trump's proposed tariffs.
You come and attack Ontario, you attack livelihoods of people of Ontario and Canadians. We're going to use every tool in our toolbox to defend Ontarians and Canadians across the border.
Trump responded to Ford's threat today, saying this.
Well, that's okay if he does that. That's fine. But the United States is subsidizing Canada. This is really a subsidy, and we shouldn't have to do that.
And other provinces seem unwilling to withhold their energy from U.S. markets.
From the Alberta perspective, under no circumstances will Alberta agree to cut off oil and gas exports.
By the way, I won't threat Donald not to send electricity.
The disagreement between provinces goes even deeper. Last night, Premier Ford said he is convinced Canada will not escape U.S. tariffs. However, François Legault cited his meeting with Trump last week in Paris.
And he told me very clearly that we can avoid those tariffs if we do what needs to be done with the borders.
Which is the focus of a new announcement from Alberta Premier Danielle Smith today. A team of specially trained Alberta and 50 officers, K9 teams, and cold weather surveillance drones to stop illegal cross-border activity.
If we succeed and maintain proper border security, I expect we will have a very strong relationship with the United States, as we always have.
Okay, so that's one part of it.
No mistake about it. As I mentioned to the Prime Minister, the rest of the premiers, we need to be ready. We need to be ready to fight. This fight is coming 100% on January the 20th or January 21st. We don't know what extent this fight's going to go to, but we need to line up everything that we're going to tariff and make sure that the tariff, the money that's coming from these tariffs don't go into a federal bank account sitting there somewhere. It needs to be immediately distributed right across the province equally, and we'll be able to support the companies, the factories, the workers for any issues that they're facing at the time. Christy, if your line's going to.
All right, I want to play one more real quick. Hold on.
All of the questions.
As a whole,
hold on.
Going down to Michigan.
Here we go.
Another FAFO moment. Check this out.
All right, this is the most important one.
We will go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole. This is coming. It's not if it is, it's coming. And it's coming January 20th or 21st. And we need to be prepared. We need to stand as a country. We need to stand united as Canadians and work hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with our colleagues across the country. And we're ready to do it.
Okay, so actually the number went up. So I actually was looking at the state of Montana and not Ontario and Wisconsin. Sorry, I was looking at Montana instead of Wisconsin, which he just mentioned. Wisconsin has a population of 5 million. So, ultimately what we are talking about, guys, and I don't know, like I said, if you've been watching celebrity news, okay, and that's been your focus, then you haven't maybe potentially heard some of the news that's going on these news outlets and the media, okay? Because of all of the threats, and sometimes, hey, who knows? Sometimes threats and these types of things, you know what I mean? People pushing each and shoving each other can be the door opener to a conversation. And so that's something that we will certainly see. But we also heard Trump say, something to the effect of we got to do type of energy. And we also heard the Canadian president also say that we got to do. So if everybody's standing on their ground and saying we got to do, well, then we're going to be basically fucking around and finding the fuck out. Okay. Now, what I want to continue to kind of address here is that there are a number of energies and people and groups of people that are simply tired of the bullshit. Okay. And so what I think is going to have to happen is for this to all be sort of an amicable thing, I think Trump's going to have to get his shit together. I think he's going to have to recognize that you've got to work with others. You have to be a team player. And that's not to say that you're going to let people step over you. This is not to say that you're going to let other people step on your neck. But this is also to say that, we can find a way to agree with one another. But if you're not going to take the opportunity or take the opportunity or make the opportunity to have agreeable conversations, then what you are going to see, especially the time that we're going in, is, well, I guess we're going to have to see what the fuck goes on. Okay, so New York, Wisconsin, and Michigan are on notice right now, right? Okay, unfortunately, right? And it's all because the right the far right are trying to push back at society because they don't like that other people are, they don't like that other people are gaining popularity or gaining influence or gaining wealth. And that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. But what you will find and what you will see is that once again, this is all of our spot. This is everybody, we all live here. So you're gonna have to find a way to work together, okay? And some of these other places, Canada and Mexico and even China potentially, they're not here to play around with anybody, okay? And the reality is, I understand their positions. Hold on, you're not just gonna be talking shit, bro. You're not just gonna be talking all that shit over there doing nothing. You know what I mean? Over there with your bullshit, talking your shit. You're not going to do that. Now, the thing that I would love to see is how the American population and the American community begins to respond to this, these behaviors and all of this. Everybody in America seems to be terrified, honestly, or or we amused. We're amused or we're terrified. Okay, it's one of the two. And I think that we've just kind of come to this place, just really as a collective, where it's just like it's another day at the shit show factory, another day at the shit show factory, and we're all just going to see how this all plays out, right? But one thing that I've also picked up energetically before I started this live was, so not only is Mexico and Canada not here, but I think also Black people are not here to fuck around anymore. And I do feel that the very thing that a certain group of oppressive colonizer people were afraid of are the things that they're actually provoking. And so that's the thing that is amazing. It's like, oftentimes people don't get riled up unless provoked. You know what I mean? Some people might, but majority of people don't. They don't need to on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis, most people just don't need conflict, right? Like, we don't just need to be over here fighting for no reason or having all this bullshit going on. We like things to be calm and stable and smooth. And so the thing I think that the colonized environment of people have been so afraid of is the very thing that they're provoking. And so that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm feeling. It's like you poked a bear, you poked a bear, you poked a bear, you poked a bear. You continue to poke and poke and poke and prod that bear. Okay. But once you get to going and start messing with them babies, when you're poking the bear, that's when we all got a problem. And we all kind of come together and figure out how we're gonna figure this damn thing out. So, like I said earlier in this video, I want to send a strong shout out to Mayor Mondale Robinson. Please, everybody, just put him in your positive thoughts. Make sure that you send some protective energy his way, because he is literally standing down, 10 toes down, for what he's believing in. And I need to see more people doing exactly that. Okay. So yeah, so that's what you missed. If you have been watching celebrity news and paying attention to what's going on with Remy Ma and Papoose, then you've missed this. You've missed what Canadian president has said, and the potential impact that it may have. It could impact over 30 million people. It could impact over 30 million people. Simple threats can impact over 30 million people. Okay, so yeah, there's that. On to other news. And I want to say this, and I want to say this loud, and I want to say this very clearly, and I want everybody to understand this. We need to stop. I need people to stop as a collective. Stop saying that everything is weird. Everything is not weird. Some things are diabolical. You know what I'm saying? Some things are inappropriate. Some things are diabolical and inappropriate. Some things are disgusting. Some things are just downright crossing the fucking line. Now, the reason why I wanted to say this right now is because I had thought about that Andy Schultz comment that was made, and a lot of people keep saying that's just weird. It's not weird. It's diabolical. It's not weird. It's nasty. It's not weird. It's crossing the fucking line. Okay? We've got to stop using that term weird to address every level of uncomfortability, because every level of uncomfortability is not the same. Some things that are weird are just like there's kind of a weird thing, but it doesn't impact anyone's physical health, emotional health, mental health, right? You might find it weird that that Gino slides his socks off and then walks off. But threatening to rape someone, that's not weird. That's criminal. That's wildly inappropriate. That's diabolical. That's nasty. And so I need everybody to just get that. Let's work that out. Let's work that whole weird term out the system right now, because everybody's just, it's like a blanket statement. It's like a blanket word, and it should not characterize everything, because we need to be very clear about what is being said and how we are addressing what is being said. What Andy Schultz said about what he would do to Kendrick Lamar was diabolical. That's what that was. It wasn't weird. It was nasty. It wasn't weird. It was crossing the fucking line. It was unacceptable. It was disapproved. It was fuck around and find out language. It was you gonna get your those are fighting words. We need to be clear about about the emotions that we feel. And it's okay to sometimes not really have the words for what you want to say, but everything is not weird. Some things are what they are, diabolical, wildly inappropriate, grossly inappropriate. I'm sure there are other words that I'm just not, thinking of right now, but I really want to say that. And I'm going to make a short about that as well, to really address that, because we got to get some better vocabulary coming around here, because weird, to address that, is not enough. It's not enough to say that's weird, because then weird in some terms can be acceptable. Sometimes when you use the term weird, it's an acceptable thing. It's something that's weird to you. It's something that you don't totally understand, but it should be acceptable. No, what he said was not acceptable. And we have to be clear about that. It was not acceptable. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That should not be acceptable to anybody. So I want to be clear about that. I think we need to address that. Instead of using the term weird for everything, to describe everything that we think or feel uncomfortable about, we need to start using the words. What he said was wildly grotesque. What he said was wildly inappropriate. What he said was diabolical, honestly. And he should be canceled for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. He should not be able to continue walking around speaking like he's speaking and nobody checks him on it. Period. So I wanted to address that. I'm hoping that we can get some clear conversations surrounding some of the things that we talked about in this video. First and foremost, the one thing that I know is that these other countries are not fucking playing with Trump. And I'm sure he's going to have to check his tone a little bit. He is. I went to the store today, and the eggs that are sometimes like $5, sometimes they go to $12. They were $19 today. I was like, $19? I guess I don't need no eggs today. Okay. We see a decrease in products. We see a decrease in prices around the election time, and then it kind of trickles up and down. This is something that Trump has also addressed today in the news, or recently in the news, that it's going to be very, very, very hard to do to lower grocery prices. And so, once again, I want to be very clear that obviously the lowering of prices is not just some check in. Trump can just write a statement and just say, okay, all of the grocery prices need to go down. So I don't know who even thought that was possible. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing that people thought that Trump could just be like, okay, guys, all the grocery stores need to lower the prices. It's not based on that. Prices are based on supply and demand. Prices are based on taxation. Prices are based upon tariffs and customs costs, the cost of manufacturing. All of those are what determine the costs of foods and even other things, products and services that we use. It is not Trump saying, "Oh, I'm the president now. You guys can lower the groceries." So I don't know who the hell thought that, but that was crazy. So yeah, I think a lot of people are really feeling buyer's remorse right now with voting Trump into presidency. But ultimately, a lot of people chose to be racist, openly racist, than to make a decision that's for the betterment of themselves and for others. And that's what we're seeing. Now, some of those people, they chose their open racism was a part of what they felt was for the betterment of them, right? But then many of those people, so for instance, the lower classmen, they are going to see that even though they can say, at least I'm not black, right? But they're going to suffer. They are. They're going to suffer too, because they're also going to see prices go up when they go to the shopping store, and they're not wealthy for that not to be an issue. A lot of wealthy people, I promise you, they're going to be hitting all sorts of other countries during this term. They don't have to stay here. But when you are not a part of the wealthy community, you got to sit here and deal with it. So you see, that's another reason why Trump can say all the things that he can say and not worry about it. Because all he got to do is just get on the train and or get on the plane, get on his private jet, and go fly somewhere else. So all of these, and I keep wanting to say the term unintended consequences, but I don't think they're unintended. Okay, all of these intended consequences are going to fall back on the working class. So ultimately, this is just a real lesson that many people are going to have to suffer through. The issue is that many of those people will try to punish others for what they are experiencing. And so that's what I need my people to be ready for. Okay? But one of the things that I want you to be ready for is definitely not being out there on the lines to march in the middle of the streets. We ain't marching no more. That shit's over. That shit's dead. All that peaceful protest bullshit. No, listen, let me tell you something. Y'all had that for 56, 70 years. Y'all ain't like it. So at this point, yeah, let's just watch ourselves as far as keeping our energy. Let's not allow whatever's going on with these politics to lower our vibrations. Do not fall into fear. Do not fall into a state where you are worried and concerned. Don't let that happen to yourself. Don't be worried and don't be concerned, because in reality, we've been ready. We've been going through this for two. We know how to deal with that. We know how to balance the checkbook with less. Okay, we know how to make ends meet with not a lot. Okay, and that's not to say that we should have to, but that's just to say that we know how to do it, and most people don't. So I would like to see people standing 10 toes down, especially for what you believe in. And I think that that's what's going to be very important here for us. Even though this whole deportation thing is going on, that's very sad, honestly. But the reality of the fact is that just like with the deportation and the Palestinians, so the Palestinians, they were right before the elections. They was cussing black people out. Like, look at you cussing me out and asking me for help in the same sentence. I'm sorry. I don't know nothing about what's going on in Palestine to begin with. Like, I don't even understand why you even coming at me like that. And then to find out that Trump says he's about to make Palestine a parking lot. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. I mean, not even amazing in the best way. Amazing in the worst possible way. The Mexicans, the Palestinians, and even some Caucasians are all understanding now. But it's too late. And that's the sucky part, because we all have to suffer because y'all didn't want to fucking listen. But the reality is, this whole time, y'all ain't been listening. Our communities have been speaking about our issues I'm talking for decades, for ages, for hundreds of years. And y'all just act like, it's nothing because of the anti-blackness, right? Unfortunately, it's just very unfortunate that now y'all going to have to just kind of sit there and see. And we about to just go on about our day. So only thing I can say with this and with that information is that I hope you guys have learned your lesson, first and foremost. Second of all, I hope that everybody takes the time and the opportunity to really just get grounded in who you are, get grounded in your own sense of morality, your own sense of purpose, get grounded in your own sense of what you would like to see the outcome to be. And this is not about black, white, and nothing like that. This is just everybody. Okay, this is for everybody. I want you to get grounded in what you would like to see an outcome be. And really right now, that's all we can do is focus on a positive outcome. But it's very sad to see the outcome. One more thing I want to cover before I go, and I think I will come back on another live to do some tarot, things like that. But one more thing that I definitely want to cover is the illusions. Although the illusions are wearing off, they haven't quite worn off yet. So this P. Diddy and this Jay-Z news and this Remy Ma news, all of that is to keep you from seeing what's actually going on. Canada threatening to turn off the electricity is big fucking news. And I don't know if I'm going to look and see if it's being covered live, but if that's not being covered live, I don't know why they would want to keep that from the people. Could be they don't want panic to, they don't want all this panic, but the reality is I think it's necessary for people to know what might be coming. Okay, at least to get an understanding of what they can either expect or what they should be working to prepare for now. But the fact that it's not really widely talked about is very concerning to me because it leaves you unaware of what may be to come. And sometimes when things happen unexpectedly, yeah, sometimes that does require you to create and be ingenuitive, be in what's the word? Sometimes when things happen unexpectedly, it does require innovation from you. But sometimes that's unnecessary, right? Like sometimes it's unnecessary for us to have to do that. So I will just say, yes, if this is requiring innovation from you, then let's just focus on the innovation part right now. Start thinking innovatively and how you can, make this turn out in a way that will be beneficial. However, also, this is a type of thing that shouldn't have to be like that, right? So I just wanted to point that out. And I also wanted to point out that these illusions are still working to some degree. They are wearing off. I've recently heard that like Fox News and like CNN and like those major news coverages, they're losing viewership. So that means that when we talk about what's going on, when we express, with amongst one another, it does make a difference because now they know that they have real opinions, real conversations, real topics that are coming up. And we find whatever topics and conversations are important to us and we discuss those. And it's not always about agreeing. Sometimes we're not going to agree, but we eventually, okay, let's come back to this conversation. We come back, we talk about it again, and then we can find some sort of way to agree with one another or agree to disagree. But it is important for us to realize that they are still using the media, the mass media manipulation tactics. They're still using them. Okay. So that means that, the fact that they're not really covering the Canadian president saying what he said, like worldwide, um, that means that they're still trying to cover things up. The fact that this Remy Ma stuff comes out the last couple of days and this Jay-Z stuff and this P. Diddy stuff to keep you focused on something else. That's what they did in that's what they did in Rome. The Colosseum was for them to distract the people from what was actually going on in politics and behind the scenes. And right now, modern day Coliseum is television, social media, news, music, the industries that they use, sports. All of those industries are used to keep you focused on everything except what's going on behind them closed doors and in political situations. Okay. So I hope that you guys are able to think about that. If you did tune into this video, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and smash the like button. We will come back and we will talk again about we'll do some tarot. Okay, we'll do some tarot later. It looks like I might be low-key shadow banned right now. Okay, so but catch this on the live, catch this on the replay. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Let's keep this conversation going. I really want to know what you guys think about the Canadian president saying what he said. He said he's going to turn he's going to turn the lights out for 30 plus million people if Trump keep talking that junk. Okay, if Trump keep talking about doing what he gonna do, and if he intends to go forward and do what he gonna do, okay, costing them additional funds and money and stuff like that where they can't pay the bills in their own house, he said he gonna cut the lights out. So I want to know what you think. Comment below, and let me know. Definitely smash the like button, share this video because this is a conversation we need to be having. So we will tap back in on this conversation at a later time. But I definitely want to know what you're thinking about the Canadian president saying he gonna turn them lights off if Trump thinks that he's about to be raising tariffs and doing all these things. Okay, without discussing it. Okay. All right. So thank you again. I'll see you guys on the next one.